हेलो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब अच्छे होंगे। थिंक लाइक अ मॉन्क, ट्रेन योर माइंड फॉर पीस एंड पर्पस एवरी डे। रिटर्न बाय जे शेट्टी। पार्ट 3, Fear. Welcome to Hotel Earth. Fear does not present death, it prevents. Fear does not prevent death, it prevents life. Buddha. The epic battle of Mahabharata is about to begin. The air is thick with anticipation. Thousands of warriors finger the hilts of their swords as their horses snort and paw at the ground. But our hero Arjuna is terrified. He has family and friends on either side of this battle, and many of them are about to die. Arjuna, among the fiercest fighters of the land, drops his bow. The Bhagavad Gita opens on a battlefield with a warrior's terror. Arjuna is the most talented archer in the land, yet fear has caused him to totally lose connection with his abilities. The same thing happens to each of us. We have so much to offer the world, but fear and anxiety disconnect us from our abilities. This is because growing up we are taught, directly or indirectly, that fear is negative. Don't be scared. Our parents told us, scaredly cat. Our friends teased fear as an embarrassing, humiliating reaction to be ignored or hidden. But fear has a flip side, which Tom Hanks alluded to in his commencement address at Yale University. University. Fear, he told the graduates, will get the worst of the best of us. The truth is, we will never live entirely without fear and anxiety. We will never be able to fix our economic, social, and political climates, to entirely eliminate conflict and uncertainty, not to mention our everyday interpersonal challenges. And that's okay, because fear isn't bad, it's simply a warning flag. Your mind saying, this doesn't look good, something might go wrong. It's what we do with that signal that matters. We can use our fear of the effects of climate change to motivate us to develop solutions, or we can allow it to make us feel overwhelmed and hopeless and do nothing as a result. Sometimes fear is a critical warning to help us survive through danger, but most of the time that we feel is anxiety related to everyday concerns about money, jobs, and relationships. We allow anxiety, everyday fear, to hold us back by blocking us from our true feelings. The longer we hold on to fears, the more they ferment until eventually they become toxic. I am sitting cross legged on the floor of a cold basement room in the monastery with 20 or so other monks. I have been at the ashram for only a couple months. Gauranga Das had just discussed the scene in the Gita when Arjuna, the hero, is overcome by fear. It turns out that Arjuna's fears make him pause instead of charging directly into battle. He is devastated that so many people he loves will die that day. The fear and anguish lead him to question his actions for the first time. Doing so provoke him into a long conversation about human morals, spirituality, and how life works according to Krishna, who is his charioteer. When Gaurangadas concludes his lecture, he asks us to close our eyes, then direct us to relieve a fear from past, not just imagine but feel it in our bodies, all the sights, sounds, and smells of that experience. He tells us that it is important that we not choose something minor, such as a first day at school or learning to swim, unless those experiences were truly terrifying, but something significant. We wants us to uncover, accept, and create a new relationship with our deepest fears. We start joking around. Someone makes fun of my overreaction to a snake skin I came across on one of our walks. Gauranga Das acknowledged our antics with a knowing nod. If you want to do this activity properly, he said, you have to push beyond the part of your mind that's making fun of it. That's a defense mechanism keeping you from really dealing with the issue. And that's what we do with fear. We distract ourselves from it. Gauranga Das says you need to go past and that place. The laughter fades, and I can almost feel everyone's spine straighten along with my own. I close my eyes and my mind quiets down, but I still don't expect much. I am not scared of anything. Not really, I think. Then as I drop further and further into meditation, past the noise and chatter of my brain, I ask myself, what am I really scared of? Flickers of truth begin to appear. I see my fear of exams. As a kid, I know that probably sounds trivial. No one likes exams, right? But exams were some of my greatest anxieties growing up. Sitting in meditation, I allow myself to explore what was behind that fear. What am I really scared of? I ask myself again. Gradually, I recognized that my fear focused on what my parents and my friends would think of my scores and of me as a result, about what my extended family would say, and how I did be compared to my cousins and pretty much everyone else around me. I don't just see this fear in my mind's eye, I feel it in my body, the tightness in my chest, the tension in my jaw, as if I am right back there. What am I really scared of? Then I start to delve into fear around the times when I did gotten in trouble at school. I was so worried that I would be suspended or expelled. How would my parents react? What would my teachers think? I invite myself to go even deeper. What am I really scared of? I see this fear around my parents, of them not getting along, and of me as a young age trying to meditate their marriage, of thinking, how can I please both of them? How can I change them and make sure they are happy? That's when I find the root of my fear. What I am I really scared of? I am afraid that I can't make my parents happy. As soon as I hit that revelation, I know I have reached the true fear beneath all of the other fears. It is a full body aha moment, like I sank deeper and deeper underwater, pressure mounting against my chest, increasingly desperate to breathe. And when that realization hit me, my head popped up. And that realization hit me. My head popped up, and I gasped for air. Half an hour earlier, I did been so sure I wasn't scared of anything, and suddenly I was uncovering my deepest fears and anxieties, which I did manage to hide completely from myself for years, by gentling but consistently asking myself what I was scared of. I refused to let my mind dodge to the question. Our brains are really good at keeping us from entering uncomfortable spaces. But by repeating a question rather than rephrasing it, we essentially corner our brain. Now, it's not about being aggressive with ourselves. This isn't an interrogation, it's an interview. You want to ask yourself the question with sincerity, not force. Being scared of exam results, being scared of exam results was what I called a branch. As you develop your relationship with your fear, you will have to distinguish between branches, the immediate fears that come up during your self interview, and the root, tracking my fear of exam results, and the other branch, fears that appeared led me to the root, fearing I couldn't make my parents happy. यहाँ पे पार्ट 1 चैप्टर 3 फियर. फिनिश पार्ट 1 ब्रेक लेंगे हम यहाँ पे। हम फिर नेक्स्ट पार्ट द फियर ऑफ फियर स्टार्ट करेंगे इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो। बाय फॉर नाउ फ्रेंड्स।